So, Deadly Towers on NES kind of sort of gets a bad rap. A lot of it is justified. Let me try to defend it a little bit. I got this game as a kid, probably from some clearance rack or some shit, or a gift from a relative, someone who makes bad mistakes. They were like, they saw it in the clearance bin for $5, man. It has to be great, right? It's an NES game. How can it be awful? But it's the way I best describe it is like sort of like a Zelda-like, but it's missing some fundamental things like say hit detection, or like when you go into a room and there's an enemy right on top of your face, it hits you immediately. There's a quality issue here, and it seems like they were trying to do their best and trying to make something kind of cool and big and like epic for the Nintendo Entertainment System, but they just there's a lot of bungling. One of the first things you do when you start the game, your character is so slow and weak, and everything takes 7 zillion hits. It's like you run over here and you get this heart tank container and you kill yourself. I want to say you either get 200 or 220 hit points. Then what you want to do is try to eventually climb up to the top of the tower, but it's so hard to get there to where the 7 towers are. You have to work your ass off, and it's just too damn hard. But you'll just be walking around and moving around, and then you'll just hit something, and it'll be a dungeon, and it's hidden. You hit the wrong pixel and you're in this dungeon, and there's a pretty good bit of them. And I looked it up. I don't remember how many rooms are in each dungeon, but it's like some apocalyptic number of rooms. You can almost say that going into the dungeon is a death sentence, because you're not getting the fuck out. My dad back in the day, he mapped them shits out on the graph paper, and I don't know if there was 8 or 9 of them, but whatever. We mapped a shit ton of them. One of the problems was with mapping stuff like that is it actually, like Pac-Man, you loop off of one side of the screen and come back for the other, except for it's like by map. And so you've got no idea that you're redrawing the same. You go nuts trying to figure it out. But in the dungeons, you can grind for money if you can find a place to buy better swords and stuff to get a slightly better, to get your defenses better. Then you need enough defenses to get up to the towers themselves. And in the towers, each one of them has a secret room. You get in this secret room, and if you could somehow survive, mainly because you bought like 10 jillion potions, you can get the goodie in there. And once you get the goodie, you'll get stuff like being able to walk up down stairs fast. You'll get like double shots, and you'll get like a whole lot better weapons and gears, stuff that'll make your character not completely useless, and in fact he'll be much stronger than the enemies. You've done all of this worked your ass off for your character to be competent, because he sucks ass. What was his name? I don't forget his name. Prince something another. Prince Dorkfest has to work his ass off to be competent. Once he's competent, though, you can go through and you can beat all of these towers, and there's like a progression system, a password system that saves your stuff for a while. And so it's a big ass cool adventure. If you can actually figure out the way to get through those damn hidden dungeons, or just avoid them all the way around. And I used to run through this game all the time as a kid because I had the shit memorized. Today, I would get my ass annihilated. But I have fond memories of it. The music is actually decent as well. And I think the graphics are actually pretty good. But it's generally hated on because the Angry Video Game Nerd did a review on it back in the day. And so it's one of the, I think, his more famous reviews. And so everybody hates on it. But hey, man, it's one of those games that, you know what? You didn't get very many Nintendo tapes back in the day, so when you got one, you played it. And you were always looking for the next Legend of Zelda. Anything that was remotely like it. And that's where this game really shined through, is it was a ghetto Zelda, honestly. But I had a bunch of fun with it back in the day. Fond memories. I recommend giving it a dabble just to see. And it's probably cheap as hell. But went back and played it recently. Gameplay is rough, it's cruel, it's mean. You go into doors and there's enemies like spawning on top of you, and you take immediate damage, and if you don't have a bagillion hit points, you're just wrecked. But then the nostalgia's there, and I know that if you play the shit out of it, that there's actually a big game here, and it's actually pretty fun. So we're gonna give it 1 paw up. I'm not gonna strongly recommend it though. It's like for a playthrough. There's much better shit out there to play and get killed by.